Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. We are fast approaching towards the end of the grammar classes. Probably one more class on Friday. So I will be ending up this session of the grammar. I hope that you might have developed some understanding of grammar. Your feedback is very important so that I can chalk out if anything else is needed according to that feedback. Today, we are going to do clauses, right? Clauses. We define clause as the principal unit sentences are made of. I mean, clauses principal unit on which sentences are made of. The simple sentence or the independent sentence is an independent clause. So if we have added independent, it means that there are dependent clauses as well. There are in terms of structures, there are 4 types of sentences. One is simple sentence. It's equal to one clause, one independent clause. Compound, it's equal to two or more, independent clauses. And then we have complex sentence, one or more, one independent and plus one or more dependent clause. And then we have compound complex. So two or more independent plus dependent. Again, the number of dependent can be any. So these are 4 types of sentences, right? A simple sentence, a compound sentence, a complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. I told you about compound sentence. Simple sentence is obviously a simple a clause, right? Simple sentence is a compound, an independent clause, right? So, the boy is very naughty. So it's a simple sentence. It's one clause. It consists of subject and predicate. So a simple sentence needs to have a subject and a predicate. And it can stand alone as a sentence. It gives one complete thought, right? So whenever we have a piece of sentence, whenever we have a group of words generally, and that gives a complete meaning, right? And it can stand alone to give a complete meaning. So it's independent. It's an independent clause. It's a simple sentence, right? And it must have a subject and a predicate. And predicate can have any complement. Any complementation of the predicate can be verb plus object, verb plus to object, verb plus object and complement, verb plus subject complement, verb plus adverb. Adverb. All types of adverbs are possible in one independent clause, right? So this is what a simple clause is. When we make a compound sentence, I told you that to make a compound sentence, right? What do you need? Can you recall? You need fanboys. Fanboys. So one clause, one independent clause, plus any of the 7 independent conjunctions. It can be for, it can be and, it can be nor, it can be but, it can be or, it can be yet, it can be so. Plus, again, one independent clause. So this is the structure of a compound sentence. So generally, all these have a certain purpose. In sabka koi na koi maqsad. For when we take uh, for as a coordinating conjunction, the second clause that comes after for introduces a reason, adds a reason to the first clause, right? We'll see the examples. When we add and the second clause adds a similar equal idea. The second clause adds similar equal idea. When we add nor, it means that the second clause adds negative equal ideas, nor one, one nor two, right? So nor introduces the second clause, which is negative equal, which introduces that negative equal idea. And when we come on to but, it introduces an opposite idea, a contrast from the first clause. And when we add or, it shows alternative possibility, mutabadil, either this or that, right? So we look at the sentences. So or introduces alternative possibilities, right? When we say yet, right, it also introduces something surprising, contrasting continuation of the first idea. And so it introduces result. I mean, something that is the result of the first clause. That is the result. So when we look at the sentences, I mean, writing takes time. So I'm avoiding, we'll do it from the laptop's screen. So this is very important that you must teach students that they should take care of these things, that when they are to make a compound sentence, or if they are to look for a compound sentence, they need to look for these markers, these markers, fanboys, that there is a clause, not a phrase or a word, clause, a group of subject and predicate before them, and a group of subject and predicate after them. And they have a certain purpose to perform. And the purposes I have just explained, that why we use for, and, nor, but, or, uh, yet, and, so. So all these have certain purpose. This is a very important thing. Generally, a lot of people do understand uh, how to make a compound sentence, but why we make a compound sentence is rarely known. People are not able to distinguish that we have to bring a possibility, a result, a surprise, a continuation, an opposition, etc. So this is very important that you teach it to your students, that how to distinguish the difference. This is what can really form their future understanding of many things they'll come across in their careers, in their academic lives, right? So this is what, remember that there are three possibilities of joining two clauses to make a compound. One is that you can bring any of the coordinators, independent coordinates. For example, fanboy, right? One clause plus fanboy, fanboy plus one clause. I have a small board, so please don't mind. And I want to avoid using more time to compress more concepts. The second is, one is this, second is semicolon. One clause, independent clause plus semicolon plus one clause, or you can bring more than it, right? So the third is you can bring conjunctive adverb. But even with the conjunctive adverb, you one clause plus semicolon plus conjunctive adverb plus one clause. So this is the third possibility. Conjunctive adverb like however, nevertheless, these are, and there is a detail of conjunctive adverbs. These can add another independent clause over the previous clause and can make a sentence, a compound sentence. Do not forget the definition of the sentence. It starts with a capital letter and ends with a terminal mark, be it full stop, and interrogative mark, and exclamation. Any of the three marks will be there at the end of the sentence. And the facility is with the compound sentence. Whenever you are in a problem, you want to make things easier, just omit either the fanboy coordinating conjunction, or the semicolon, or the semicolon plus conjunctive adverb, put full stop after, or according to the sentence structure, put terminal mark after the first and begin the second one with the capital letter. There is already a terminal mark at the end of the. So this is how you can make compound sentence. So simple sentence and compound sentence. Simple sentence consists of one idea. It can have one subject, one predicate. It is a one clause sentence. And if there are more than one clauses, then there are compound sentences, except the both the clauses or all the clauses are independent clauses, right? Jotting down your confusion so you can ask. So this is with the independent clauses and types of sentences. Now come on to dependent clauses. Dependent clauses have a long list. There are too many clauses which are dependent clauses, but uh, their basic types are three types. I mean, like people, a sentence too has a skeleton, a bony structure, a minimal approach. Though my minimal approach is different from the one that we generally discuss with the in syntax, SVO/C plus A. This should be the sentence structure that you must make your students memorize. SVO/C plus A. And make sure that a lot of people, when I asked him and while teaching, what does A stand for? They say adjective. It's not adjective, it's adverb, right? Adverb is a component of a sentence, is an element of a sentence. Adjective is part of this, part of the any of the complement, not an independent one, right? So, if you look at this, subject is a noun, verb, action, or state, object, noun, object is noun, and complement can be a noun, an adjective, prepositional phrase, an adverb. Let's call it an adverb, right? And I told you that adverb, not every type of adverb, especially remember that adverb of manner cannot be used as subjective complement. And plus, we have adverb. Adverb can be can be a noun, can be an adverb, can be a prepositional phrase. PP means prepositional phrase, right? So now what can be a noun and an adjective, sorry, a verb and noun and adjective, etc., etc. So remember that a noun can be a word, can be a phrase, can be a clause. So our subject can be a noun, a single word, a phrase. Phrase, I told you, means two type of. One, word has the ability to become phrase, or phrase, more than one word, right? So if we are teaching prescriptive grammar, so I'll try that I could discuss some aspect of prescriptive and descriptive grammar while finishing this topic next day after tomorrow. So verb can be a word or a phrase. The whole is a verb clause. It cannot be, I mean, we call the whole one as a verb clause. Noun, object can be a word, a phrase, and a clause. So complement can be a noun, a verb, a clause. Adjective can be a verb, a word, a phrase, a clause. Adverb can be a word, a phrase, and a clause. Similarly, adverb can be a word, a phrase, and a clause. They have all the possibilities, right? So let's take another leap and look at something different. For example, noun when it is uh, a clause, it introduces with many conjunction like what, like that, and there is a list that you will just see. And same with what, that, and a list you will see. That's it. Same adjective. If adjective is clause is used, it can begin with who, which, that, and there are many more you will just see. Adverb. Adverb clause will be seen with when, where, how, why, and many more. There are many. So remember that if you find a sentence in which some subject predicate is used, right, that has any of the coordinating conjunctions, dependent conjunctions, sorry, right, that means that that is a clause. That is a clause. We'll see their examples in detail right now. So I'll show you after a short while, right? For example, let's say he came yesterday. Yesterday is actually a noun, but here it's working as an adverb. What's the verb? Came. Who came? He, subject. Came when? Yesterday. So yesterday is an adverb of time. He came uh, in the morning. So it's a phrase. Again, it's an adverb of time. He came when you were asleep. When you were asleep. We don't prefer to say he was sleeping, right? Because sleeping is not a voluntary action, involuntary action. So that's why we don't put such verbs into continuous tenses, right? So when you were asleep, remember that when we have an adverbial clause, especially about the adverbial clause because they are very tricky, right? So when you were asleep, so they will always be followed by preceded by a conjunction like when, where, why, how, etc. हमेशा इनसे पहले ये कोई भी dependent clause must be followed by any conjunction, dependent conjunction. That is one sign to that is of there being a dependent clause, and you must make your students learn and be able to distinguish these things that when there is a dependent clause. So dependent clause is a very wide topic. Again, the why we use one dependent clause in a sentence has certain reason. We can go into details. I'll try to avoid. Sometimes we should want to show reasons, sometimes we want to relate it to the noun previously, and there are many possibilities, right? One thing now, come on for adjective clause. What is an adjective clause? Adjective clause is not one like a dependent clause or a noun clause. Adjective clause will be found within the element of noun, of complement, of adverb, wherever there is a noun which is working as any other part, any components, there can be an adjective, and this adjective can become an adjective clause too. For example, we take boy. So it's a noun. We say good boy. It's an adjective. Right? We can change, we can now say the boy who is good. The boy who is good. Now, who is the subject, is good as the predicate, and it relates to the noun before it, which is boy. So it has become an adjective clause. Adjective clause. So adjective clause has the possibility to be present, to appear in a sentence right after a noun. Do not misplace it from the noun. Sometime if you misplace the adjective clause from its noun, तो ये मसला हो जाएगा. It's understandable. वो फिर दूसरे में मफहूम ये रहता है. So adjective clause. Generally, we say that if adjective clause starts with who, if the noun it refers to is a person, and it starts with which. If it refers to the noun before it, which is a thing, and generally, if you are not having any ambiguity, कि क्या है noun है ये, so you can use that. And there are other that we'll see. There is so, and there are many other conjunction that can be used as. लेकिन इसमें याद रखिए it gives the meaning of this. So these are three types of clauses. Noun clause, which can be used a group of subject predicate introduced by a dependent conjunction in the place of noun wherever noun comes, and we have discussed where the places of the noun is a noun clause. So if any clause introduce time, place, manner, etc., it's an adverbial clause. If any clause, a group of words, subject, predicate, explain, describes, modifies a noun, it's an adjective clause. So these three things must be remembered and must be practiced and must be taught to the students. ये तीन clause होते हैं. Noun clause, नाउन की जगह पे एक दफा उन्हें नाउन की जगह याद करा दे. ठीक है, सब्जेक्ट है, कॉम्प्लेक्स सब्जेक्टिव कॉम्प्लीमेंट है, इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट है, डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट है, अपोजिशन है. एक दफा उन्हें ये 6-7 जगह याद करा दे. Right? Then adverb, if you want to know adverb, verb का time और वहां एक when, where आ गया है, right? When, where आ गया है, so that means that there is a. अब इसमें एक चीज जरा देख लें. Sometimes people get confused. मिसाल के तौर पे what is your like this, what is your name? What is your name? This is an interrogative sentence, simple sentence. We have linking verb is this. Actually, what is the subject? If somebody asks you the subject of this sentence, what is the subject of this sentence? What is the verb? Verb, obviously, there is one verb, linking verb is that. And what is the subjective complement in this sentence? Look at this, right? Actually, this sentence has transformation. The sentence was, your name is Ali, right? So we have this as subject, this as predicate, this as linking verb, and this as subject complement. Right? So this is the sector. What happened? So if you did not know your addressee's name, so you obviously, what's your name? This is what we do a lot of time when we meet unknown people, strangers, etc. So you will say, you do not know. What you will do? Your name is what? Your name is what? Right? So WH word, when it asks a question, when it makes a question, tends to come in the beginning of the sentence. So this word is put up here. What your name is. Now, when WH word comes in the beginning and makes a question, right? It tends to take a verb or a helping verb with it. Since is in this sentence is used both as verb, it's a main verb, but since it doesn't have any other word, so what we do is we bring it. So is brought to what is your name. So as it makes a question, we'll put an interrogative sign. So this is the transformation that is actually involved in what is your name. Similarly, when will, so when will Ali come? So it's an interrogative sentence. What was actually this sentence? Right? So Ali will come in the morning. In the morning. So this was an assertive declarative statement sentence. So you did not know the time of coming of Ali, right? So in the morning. So what, obviously, to know the time, you will bring which word? When. Ali will come when. Right. And now, since it makes a question, this one comes in the beginning and sentence becomes when Ali will come. Again, as the sentence asks a question, and whenever there is a question, the helping verb tends to come before the subject in English. So we'll have to bring when will Ali come. Put as interrogative. This is the movement actually that has taken place within inside. So whenever you have an adverbial clause, it must have this one with it. I have put this just to make you understand actually what it is, right? Let's have another example. where does he live? Right? Now you can tell me that actually what happened. He lives in Lahore. Wherever you want. In DG Khan, in Multan, in Rawalpindi, in Karachi, in even outside Pakistan, you can say. So if you do not know, let's say, did not know where I live, right? He lives in where? So instead of in Lahore, you will put where. So where tends to come in the beginning, where he lives. Again, it's a making question. So what will you have to do is to bring and when this do goes to the beginning, it takes with it, as you know that in present indefinite, the do when it is taken out of the verb, right? ये verb के अंदर छुपा हुआ होता है, right? It adds its characteristics and becomes does. So it becomes does. So what will be the sentence? Where does he live? And put question mark here. Again, this is movement. So obviously there are many other things, but I want that if you understand all these things, you'll be able to read some good books. I can suggest. Remember that I previously also told you that I'm going to give you a test, right, to give you certification. Unless you pass the test, I won't give you or send you the certificate. And I'll ask that the people who are regularly attending these sessions should send their names, right, in the group so that we could only along with their email so that we could only send them the test to take, right? So let's now look at mm, look at these concepts in detail or with examples on the laptop, right? And if you have any question, do let me know. You can write, though you do not. Though you do not. Again, an adverbial clause. What type of adverbial clause that is introduced with although or though? Can anyone tell? Welcome back. Please. Someone with any question? With any question? आज का जो हमने किया है क्या किसी की समझ में लगा है या नहीं लगा? हाँ जी। क्या आप लोगों को ये समझ लगा? इट्स बीन ये बड़े कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं लेकिन आप ट्राई टू मेक दम इजियर। आप पता नहीं कितना का, लेकिन कभी कभी आप फीडबैक दे दिया करें ना। ये सिर्फ यस सर से आगे निकल के अभी थोड़ा सा आपको फीडबैक दे दिया करें। जी मिस लुबना, कुछ आप हम्म मैंने आपको कहा आप अपने नाम जो है ना वो दे दें और ताकि हम इसको ना कर सकें। चलें. Okay. Now look at, ladies and gentlemen, I told you about the, थोड़ा सा एक सेकेंड मैं इसको जरा एडजस्ट कर लूं. हाँ जी, फैन बॉयज, राइट. व्हाट कम्स फैन बॉयज, याद हो जाना चाहिए अब जिनको नहीं याद हुआ. फैन बॉयज, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So these are 7 coordinating conjunctions. 7 coordinating conjunctions, right? And ये इससे आप देख लें, Japanese people live longer than most other nationalities, for they eat healthful diets. Right? So reason for ये clause, पहले clause का reason दे रहा है कि why they have longer lives. And to add a similar equal idea, they eat a lot of fish and vegetable. Oh, fish, my favorite. And they eat lightly, right? And it's one idea, and this one is another idea, and we have and. So they are similar, equal idea. Always remember that whenever you are joining two clauses with these coordinating conjunction, put a comma before them. Here you can say a comma before for, a comma before and in the following. To add a negative, nor negative equal ideas. They do not eat a lot of red meat, nor do they eat many dairy products. ना ही वो ये खाते हैं, ना ही वो खाते हैं, सेहतमंद रहते हैं. That's why they have longer lives. But to add an opposite idea, diet is one factor in how long people live. Diet, listen to it. This is very important for Lahorites. Like in Baral, people live in other cities also violates dieting principles, but it is not the only factor. So they believe on this one. So, but gives an opposite idea to the first one, or alternative possibilities, mutabadil possibilities. However, people should limit the amount of an animal fat in their diets, or they risk getting heart disease, right? Or this is alternative possibility, right? Avoid to add an unexpected or sorry, surprising continuation. Cigarette smoking is a factor in longevity, yet Japanese and other long-lived Asians have a very high rate of tobacco use. यानी सरप्राइजिंग यानी होना तो ये चाहिए था कि लेकिन हुआ ये. Doctors say that stress is another longevity factor, so try to avoid stress if you wish to any live a longer life. यानी अगर लंबी जिंदगी का factor है. So these are the types of clauses which are independent clauses, which are joined by a coordinating conjunctions, and these coordinating conjunctions are joined by comma, right? With the next one. So the next second clause is obviously either it's the reason or equal idea or negative idea or opposite idea or alternative possibility or surprising possible continuation on unexpected thing or expected thing is one of the seven, right? Remember that the uh, the dependent conjunctions when introduced also have one of some thought different from the main idea or give some reason for the uh, main clause. वो क्वेश्चन है तो कर लें. Anyone, someone. मैंने जब नेक्स्ट स्टार्ट करना है फोनिक्स का, तो फिर जो लोग कहते हैं कि बाद में वीडियोस देख लेंगे, मैंने वीडियोस का अपलोड ही नहीं करना. जो इसमें होएगा वही उसको ही अ, पता लगेगा. और वो भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, खास तौर पे प्री स्कूल टीचर्स, इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज टीचर्स के लिए, क्योंकि उसमें हम पूरी साउंड्स को डिस्कस करेंगे और उसमें साउंड्स कैसे अटर करते हैं, कैसे उसको. दैट विल बी people who are looking forward to learning pronunciation will enjoy, obviously, but one thing is there, that is a skill, right? So let's get back to. हाँ जी, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है? कोई क्वेश्चन? दरीचा बेसदा कोई नहीं है, अगरचे जानता कोई नहीं है. मिश्रा याद आ गया. हाँ, चलें जी. Let's now look at the independent clauses. So again, that we have discussed, a clause is the principal unit of which sentences are composed. A sentence may consist of one or more clauses. The fat man could eat a lot more. One close sentence, right? These are clauses. He's an active boy, but his brother is lazy, very lazy. So we have two clauses. The second one is an opposite idea to the first one. So a clause is a group of words having a subject and a verb, mean predicate. An independent clause can stand alone as a sentence, simple sentence. A dependent clause is always used as some part of this of speech, right? As a noun or an adjective or an adverb. It can be an adjective or adverb or a noun. अब तक मैंने इतनी दफा ये एडजेक्टिव बोला है कि अब तक आप में से अक्सर को याद हो जाना चाहिए, एडजेक्टिव नहीं कहना प्लीज, right? It cannot stand alone as a sentence. And if, for example, if we have a piece like this, what he said, he subject said is a verb. अगर what को हटा दें तो ये पूरा सेंटेंस बन जाएगा, सब्जेक्ट प्रेडिकेट. लेकिन ये what. अच्छा ये देखिए, ये what he said, does it make a question? अगर ये क्वेश्चन बना रहा होता तो ये कहता what did he say. ये उसने क्या कहा। यहाँ वॉट का अगर आप ट्रांसलेट करें तो वॉट का क्या तर्जमा होगा, जो उसने कहा। व्हेन दे केम, अब इसी तरह दे सब्जेक्ट है, केम इज द प्रेडिकेट, अ वर्ब, इट कैन स्टैंड अलोन एज अ सेंटेंस इफ व्हेन इज नॉट देयर। और अगर ये व्हेन इंट्रोगेटिव होता तो इसके बाद when did he come, when did they come होता, right? या when did he come होता, ठीक, right? An independent clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. It expresses a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. An independent clause. It can also be joined to other dependent or independent clauses to make a more interesting, 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 stress in and complex sentence. A phrase is a group of words used as a sentence part. Remember, a phrase is a group of words. It does not have a subject or a verb. It may be may work as a subject if added to a verb or other components of the sentence. It can be a noun, an adjective, or an adverb, right? We have studied the following phrases. Uh, Obviously, I've been referring to phrases, but not in detail. Obviously, time is one of the constraints, so I have to skip a lot of topic. I wish I could refer to you my grammar if it is available. आपके शहरों में से कई जो पुरानों लोगों के पास, जो खास तौर पे कॉलेज के टीचर हैं, उनके पास मेरी फंक्शनल इंग्लिश की मेरी शकील अमजद पढ़ी होगी, उसमें ये सारी चीजें हैं। क्योंकि इस वक्त जो मेरी जो किताब है ना, जिसको मैं मेरी जो पेडागोजिकल ग्रामर है, अब ये प्रिंट में नहीं है। आई एम ट्राइंग के इसको प्रिंट करवाया जा सके, तो दैट कैन बी वेरी, क्योंकि उसमें बहुत डिटेल्ड मैंने ये चीजें बयान की हुई हैं। और खास तौर पे दैट इज मेंट फॉर टीचर्स, कि टीचर्स के वो एक रेडी रेफरेंस जो होना होता है। वंस यू हैव मास्टर्ड द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ दैट ग्रामर, यू कैन पिक अप एनी ग्रामर ऑफ इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज। खास सबसे बड़ी तो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ग्रामर है, वो जरा औखी है। वो कोई है दैट इज रिटन बाय रोंडल सर रोंडल कोर्क एंड ग्रीनबॉक, और वो बहुत जरा टेक्निकल चीज है। जो ग्रामर है दैट इज मोर देन 2000 पेजेस। A compound sentence combines two or more independent clauses. Commas separate the clauses of a compound sentence. The fat man could eat no more, but his wife was still eating. It means she is not fat, right? So maybe both are fat. A short sentence joined by and is sometimes combined without comma. She talks and he listens. You can understand whose situation or state is being told in this short sentence. She talks and he listens. अब तो समझ आ गई होगी कि शॉर्ट सेंटेंस जो है क्यों है और किनकी कैफियत बयान कर रहा है। A semicolon can take the place of the conjunction and comma. So you can say she talks semicolon and he listens full stop. Only clauses closely related in thought should be joined to make a compound sentence. ये very important है। And you should join two clauses together to make a compound sentence when they have some similarity of idea. He came, he fought, he won. अब ये देखिए, ये तीन clauses है, short से clauses हैं, और they are joined by commas, right? Semicolons. Comma, इसमें हमने कोई आखिरी में वो नहीं लगाया हुआ conjunction में। उसके बाद ये है whether each of group is a clause or a phrase before the gate broke. क्या before coordinating subordinating conjunction the gate broke. So ये clause है. After having eaten, ये phrase है. In answer to your question, ये phrase है. So इसमें आप और भी कर सकते हैं. इसमें और भी ये एक्सरसाइज कर सकते हैं. जितना आप करेंगे उतना ज्यादा जो है वो आपको समय लगेगी. Ways of combining clauses in compound sentence, 3 ways. One, with a coordinator. Fanboys, I play tennis, but I play tennis, but I dislike it. यानी कंट्रास्टिंग है. खेलता भी हूं लेकिन मुझे पसंद नहीं है. राइट. कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है? एनी क्वेश्चन? कोऑर्डिनेटर्स, कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन या कोऑर्डिनेटर, यू कैन रिमेम्बर 7 बॉयज. ये आपको मैंने करा दिया. बाप में से बहुतों को याद हो जाना चाहिए. और व्हाई दे आर यूज, रीजन, एक्सप्रेस, सिमिलर आइडिया, ये भी मैंने आपको करवा दिए हैं. अब ये इसकी मिसालें भी मैंने आपको दे दी हैं दूसरी जगह से. अच्छा, अब कंजंक्टिव एडवर्ब से 2 क्लॉजेस को जोड़ा जाता है. आई प्ले टेनिस, however my brother dislikes it. Following is a list of conjunctive adverb. Accordingly, beside, consequently, for example, rather, more, hence, however, in addition to, in contrast, thus, otherwise, therefore, on the other hand. ये याद रखें कि ये पहले जो क्लॉज है, फर्स्ट क्लॉज है, उसकी थॉट को दूसरे क्लॉज में कोई ना कोई उसका रिजल्ट होता है. कहीं उसकी उसकी अनएक्सपेक्टेड कंटिन्यूएशन होती है. कोई कोई ना कोई चीज जो है वो होती है. लेकिन अगर हम however जो है वो उस तरह ऑपोजिट आइडिया नहीं देता जिस तरह, सॉरी, however उस तरह ऑपोजिट आइडिया नहीं देता जिस तरह बट देता है. तो इसलिए however पहले सेंटेंस ही के जो मीनिंग है उसमें को थोड़ी सी ऑपोजिशन तो पैदा करता है, लेकिन कंट्रास्टिंग ऑपोजिशन जो है वो नहीं पैदा करता. तो इसलिए ये कंजंक्टिव एडवर्ब्स में आया हुआ है. और वैसे भी देखिए हाउ के साथ शुरू हो रहा है, तो इसलिए ये कंजंक्टिव एडवर्ब्स में है. ये ये कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन नहीं हो सकता. यही मैं कह रहा हूं. अब मैं डिटेल में बहुत, वो तो फिर मुझे बहुत डिटेल में जाना चाहिए पड़ेगा. बहरहाल मैं कोशिश करता हूं कि जहां तक जाए. जैसे मिसाल के तौर पे फॉर एग्जाम्पल है, तो ये पहले सेंटेंस की मजीद एक्सटेंशन दे रहा है. कॉन्सिक्वेंस है, तो कॉन्सिक्वेंटली है. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि पहले सेंटेंस में जो थॉट आई है उसके नतीजे को बयान करा है. तो आप जरा गौर करेंगे तो आपको इन तमाम का जो है वो मीनिंग जो है वो डिफरेंस जो है वो समझ लग जाएगा. A semicolon is put before a conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb से पहले semicolon जो है वो लाजिमन आना चाहिए. जैसे, और कंजंक्टिव एडवर्ब के बाद एक कॉमा. आजकल जो हम पंक्चुएशन के पैटर्न को यूज कर रहे हैं उसमें कॉमा जो है वो आता है. एक और ये है कि हम इसको बाद दफा सैंडविच भी कर देते हैं सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब के दरमियान. माई ब्रदर कॉमा हाउएवर कॉमा डिसलाइक्स इट, इस तरह से भी आ जाता है. ये स्टाइल है. विद अ थर्ड इसका ये है विद अ सेमीकोलन. आई प्ले टेनिस, सेमीकोलन, आई लाइक इट, एंड फुल स्टॉप. ये इसको है. ये सेंटेंस की प्रैक्टिस जो है ये I'll send you compound sentences were compound part. एक क्या याद रखिएगा, कंपाउंड सेंटेंस की हम बात कर रहे हैं, कंपाउंड पार्ट्स की बात नहीं कर रहे. उसको हमने उस वक्त जिक्र कर लिया था when we began with the sentence, जब हमने सेंटेंस को शुरू किया था.
The conjunction should express the proper relationship between the clauses. Do not confuse a compound sentence with a simple sentence having compound parts. Mother baked a cake and I frosted it. Either mother baked a cake is one independent clause and is मैंने चेक किया है इधर जो हमारे हैं so the sound is my voice is clear. You might have some signal problems, right? So इसमें इधर ख्याल है कि ये compound जो है the girl just sat there but said nothing, right? अब इधर हम इसको अगरचे ये क्लॉज है लेकिन इसको हम कंपाउंड वर्ब भी कह सकते हैं. आई लुक्ड फॉर द बुक बट आई कुड नॉट फाइंड इट. अब यहाँ ये बट ने यहाँ बट जो है ये दो वर्ब्स को ज्वाइन कर रहा है पार्ट्स को ऑफ द सेंटेंस. इट विल बी कॉल्ड वन सिंपल सेंटेंस. अगर एक बार याद रखिएगा कि the more the higher we go in any subject, the concepts uh, are redefined. यानी अगर मैं प्योर सिंटैक्स में चले जाऊं तो उसमें तो फिर बहुत सी चीजें हैं जिसको हम यहाँ एक तरीके से डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वहां बिल्कुल दूसरी. तो ये पेडागोजिकल ग्रामर है. पेडागोजी टीचिंग. ये this the way this language English language is being discussed is for the purpose of understanding English language, right? For learning purpose, right? So a teaching purpose, right? ये है. सिंटैक्स में जब हम जाते हैं तो कई चीजें ऐसी हैं जो हम इधर एक और तरह बयान करते हैं फिर उधर एक और तरह बयान करते हैं, राइट? सो अगर आप में से हो सकता है आप में से किसी ने सिंटैक्स, क्योंकि आजकल बहुत से लोग हैं जो मास्टर्स में सिंटैक्स पढ़ते हैं या एमफिल किया हुआ हो सकता है, बट द ओरिएंटेशन ऑफ द थिंग इज वेरी डिफरेंट. अगर आपने सिंटैक्स को थोड़ा सा स्टडी करना है तो मेरे लेक्चर्स पढ़े हुए हैं उधर यूट्यूब में वर्चुअल यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से. मैंने उधर पढ़ाया था मोर्फोलॉजी एंड सिंटैक्स. तो उसमें थोड़ी सी चीजें जो है वो उसको देखी जा सकती हैं. अब्दुल्ला ये बात I've again confirmed um, you must be having some signal issues, right? So you can have exercise like this. So dependent clauses, I think let's call it a day. आज इसको खत्म कर देते हैं. इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज हम मैंने फ्राइडे को डिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेस को जरा कर लेंगे क्योंकि एक हमने एक और सेशन को करना है. तो जरा इसको जरा कर लें. आप में से जो प्रिंसिपल्स और जो टीचर्स कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव क्लासेस को पढ़ाते थे, सेकेंडरी क्लासेस को पढ़ाते थे और उनके रिजल्ट्स जो हैं बड़े अच्छे आए हैं. अगर चाहे ऑलवेज लुक फॉरवर्ड टू हैविंग सम पोजीशन, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला ये भी वक्त लाएगा. हम यहाँ बहुत मेहनत कर रहे हैं. मेरे और जो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव की टीम है, दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू देयर बेस्ट. और इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद है कि इस दफ़ा as the new syllabus is given by the government, so we'll try to make the notes so that we can. I'm sorry you couldn't listen to it, but I have just uh, reconfirmed uh, from my people from my office. They say that there is some internet connection issue. भी ट्राई कि इसको जल्दी कर दिया जाए। और मेरी एक और कोशिश है कि ये जो लॉन्ग लेक्चर्स चलते हैं, 1.5 घंटा, घंटा 1.5 घंटा सब ले लेते हैं, इसको क्लिप कर दें। इसके अंदर जो छोटे टॉपिक्स होते हैं उसमें दे माइट बी ऑफ एनी यूज टू यू, और इस तरह आई विल कीप डूइंग समथिंग, रिकॉर्डिंग समथिंग मोर, कि आप उनको स्टूडेंट्स के साथ भी शेयर कर सकेंगे ताकि वो उनको सुन सकें। दे विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो मैं वो कह रहा था कि I congratulate all of the teachers who've been teaching comprehensive classes. They have done well. The results that have been known to us so far are excellent, and my team is really struggling very hard and to bring some good results for our schools. And we always look forward to any suggestion regarding any help from the head office. So whenever you have anything in your mind and you want us to do uh, according to that, so we can readily accept your idea and we'll do this. However, there are some things which are quite individual, and they are not, I mean, uh, they're not uh, such that we can apply to other campuses. But definitely there are few things which we can think of. तो जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम हो इसको हमें जरूर बताया करें। और एक एक जो मुझे शकवा, वो या आपका शिकवा, वो यह है कि जो हम यहाँ मेहनत करके आप लोगों को चीजें भेजते हैं ना, आप उसमें कुछ उसको पूरी तरह नहीं लेते हैं, पूरी तरह नहीं पढ़ाते हैं। ये इससे बहुत सी चीजें तब्दील हो जाती हैं। जो जो वहाँ का, यहाँ हम सारी चीजों को देख रहे होते हैं व्हेन वी सेंड यू द बेस्ट थिंग्स, ठीक है, और हमारी कोशिश होती है कि हम उसको और बेहतर से बेहतर करें। तो जो हम प्लान भिजवाते हैं ना यहाँ से, और जो हमारे यहाँ से चीजें जाती हैं, यहाँ जितनी भी लाहौर में जो चीजें हैं, हमारे पास जो स्टाफ है वो इस वक्त one of the best comprehensive staff, uh, if we compare it with the other institution offering comprehensive coaching to the students. तो इंशाल्लाह ताला हम एक नोट्स का भी मसला है, वो भी उसके ऊपर भी हम वेटिंग कर रहे हैं। Oh my goodness, you watching slides, voice is too much low. I'm really sorry, लेकिन ये आपके हाथ से, क्योंकि मैं बार बार पूछ रहा हूँ अपने होस्ट से भी कि आवाज आ रही मेरी, तो वो कह रहे हैं कि ठीक आ रही है। रियली सॉरी, लेकिन ये है कि थोड़ा सा को कनेक्शन को निकल के देखें। I'll try that we could send you as early as possible अभी this one, हालांकि क्योंकि ये बड़ा एक इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है। थैंक यू मिस आलिया। So we'll do some more thing on dependent clauses next time with the uh, winding up notes. So in the meanwhile कुछ है तो आप बता दें। मैंने आपको कहा आप में से जो जो क्लास अटेंड कर रहे हैं, they should send their name in the grammar phonics WhatsApp group, so that we could, along with the emails, so that we could prepare a test, and as a when the test result come, we can send them certification, right? So with this, I call it a day, and I thank you for being with me during this session. So the office until next